International Fight Week ended with a bang, exceeding the expectations. But I know you don't have time to watch all the big fights, so here I am with a recap of the whole weekend, where we will see everything important that happened in the International Fight Week. I'm the Indian accent guy and you are on the Fight Book. So International Fight Week started on Friday with Karate Combat 47 headlined by former UFC lightweights Rafael Alves and James Vick, which took place in Orlando. Alves left the bout as the victor by viciously putting away Vick with a switch head kick that left Vick flat out on the canvas. Alves, who only had a 4-fight but entertaining stint in the UFC from 2021 to 2023, continues unbeaten since his UFC release. Another moment of the event that I would like to discuss with you is that the CEO of Karate Combat choked out a corner man when he tried being salty. Haha, you would never see Dana doing this kind of shit. The second event on Friday was PFL 6 2024, the last installment of their $1 million tournament's regular season before the playoffs. Headline is that now we have got our semi-finalists of their featherweight and welterweight divisions as well, and it is time for the playoffs. One thing that I want to mention is that Shamil Musayev knocks out Murad Ramazanov with a highlight reel finish in this event, and his first opponent in the playoffs is also Murad Ramazanov. Indeed, there is a problem with this format. Boxing had a big fight too on Friday night, which was the big homecoming for the WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. after winning the belt last November. His opponent and previously undefeated Fergal McCrory went out on his shield as his brave bid to dethrone Roach Jr. ended in the 8th round. Roach dropped McCrory in round 3 with a short left hook and then floored him twice more with body shots in round 4. McCrory put up a game effort, but his corner finally waved the towel to end it in round 8, giving Roach Jr. an 8th round TKO victory in his first title defense. In a step-up fight, unbeaten super middleweight Lester Martinez also scored an impressive 10-round unanimous decision win over well-respected Carlos Gongora. One-sided fight with Martinez connecting with big shots the entire way to extend his record to 18-0. Last and the least on Friday night was the Powerslap debut of Paige VanZant, who was coming off an embarrassing performance against a porn star. After competing in mixed martial arts, bare-knuckle fighting, pro wrestling, and boxing, Paige VanZant has added power slapping to her resume. She took on someone who was previously 1-1 in power slap and looked as dangerous as Wanderlei Silva. Still, she could not do enough damage, and VanZant made her take a knee in her second and third slap to win a unanimous decision, with all 3 judges scoring the bout 30-25. Following her victory, VanZant said she intends to keep competing in power slap going forward. Honestly, it was my first time watching this shit, and the thing I noticed is that she flicked every time she got slapped. Is it even legal? Another question for you is that, would you call me a hater if I say I enjoyed when she was getting slapped? Anyway, Friday night's action ends here and the Saturday action starts with UFC 303 early prelims. In the early prelims of UFC 303, oldest veteran Andre Arlovski lost for the 18th time in the UFC, tying the record for the most losses in the UFC history with Jeremy Stephens and Clay Guida. It was the last fight of his UFC contract, and although he did not announce retirement, you may never see him again in the UFC as he is 45 and currently on a 4-fight losing streak. Early prelims closed with UFC strawweight stalwart Michelle Waterson announcing her official retirement after losing 5th straight, and the prelims ended with Joe Piper returning into the win column with a spectacular performance. He earned his 3rd performance of the night bonus for his 4th UFC win. Man card started with 2 great welterweight prospects. Undefeated Ian Gary went from wanting to be the next Conor McGregor to the next Khabib Nurmagomedov real quick. He edges out MVP in a razor-close fight and comes away with a unanimous decision victory, moving to 15-0, including 8 wins in the UFC. Gary wants gold after this win, but we all know he needs at least one more, preferably over a top 5 to earn the title shot. In the next fight, a deep cut caused Mayra Bueno Silva to come up short at UFC 303. Adding another finish to the resume, Macy Shizan earned the doctor stoppage TKO in the second round and earned second straight performance of the night bonus. Next was Roman Dolidze, who finally broke his 2-fight skid by defeating Anthony Smith in their short-notice clash. First win at 205 for Dolidze, he goes the distance and takes home the unanimous decision. He is now 5-2 in his last 7 UFC bouts and called out Khamzat Chimaev. Then here comes Diego Lopez. What a warrior. 2 opponents, 3 weight classes, he gets it done no matter what. In the no-notice co-main event, he comes out with a unanimous decision victory over number 13 ranked Dan Ige. After losing his short-notice UFC debut, he is now on a 4-fight win streak. He demanded the Ortega fight to be rescheduled in the Sphere, and Dana said they would do what Lopez wants because the man has done what we wanted. And then finally, another successful hunt. Jiri Prochazka was hurt badly and Alex Pereira is just too good, different level, truly special fighter, as the man says, Chama. Alex Pereira looks unstoppable at this time. He dropped Jiri Prochazka right on the bell. Jiri thought that they are stopping the fight. In the start of the second round, a head kick by Poatan and then the ground and pound that made DC scream, stop the fight. He defended his title in the rematch and defeated Jiri Prochazka by knockout to remain the light heavyweight champion of the world. He earned 5th performance of the night bonus in his 8th UFC win. Alex Pereira vs John Jones is the next UFC super fight. The first man who has the real potential to become UFC's first ever 3-division champion. International Fight Week ended here for MMA fans, but boxing fans were still in front of the TV as Teofimo Lopez defended his WBO and Ring Magazine junior welterweight titles by unanimous decision in a dominant performance over Canadian veteran Steve Clagett. Lopez had a more challenging time than expected, beating fringe contender Steve Clagett. What was supposed to be a showcase fight to make Teofimo Lopez look good after a string of dismal performances turned out to be a hard fight. Theo was wearing a fake smile through much of the fight, but he wasn't happy because he was getting hit a lot. Both eyes were swollen, showing that it was not the walk in the park that he thought it would be. Although Lopez dominated from start to finish, throwing a career-high 946 punches and landing a career-high 315, still he needed a statement against the massive underdog to make his welterweight debut intriguing. In the chief support fight, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Robesi Ramirez stopped Brandon Benitez in the 7th round with a big uppercut. He is now back into the mix once again after losing his featherweight belt to Rafael Espinoza in December 2023. Middleweight prospect Nico Alivaj was also featured undercard, where he avenged his only loss and beat Sona Akale by an exciting drama-filled 6-round unanimous decision. Walsh knocked down Akale in the 3rd, but then took a lot of punishment in the 4th and 5th rounds along the ropes. In the 6th, Walsh suffered a left shoulder injury and could not use that arm during the round. It was hanging loosely by his side, forcing him to fight with just his right. But that's all he needed to make it out of the round. The scores were 58-55, 57-56, and 57-56. And then last but not least, there was a great boxing card from Matchroom Boxing 2, headlined by Jesse Pam Rodriguez. Rodriguez knocked Estrada down with a right hand in the 5th and had him hurt throughout the contest. Estrada took the immediate revenge and knocked Rodriguez down with a right hand in the 6th round, but he was too aggressive in the 7th, which resulted in him getting stopped. Bam Rodriguez flattened Estrada with a left to the midsection in round 7. Estrada rolled around on the canvas in pain, too hurt to continue, leaving referee with no choice but to wave it off. The time of the stoppage was at 3 minutes of round 7. Estrada looked old and weight drained and nothing like what he had in his last 3 contests. On the other hand, Jesse was too young, too big and too powerful for the old warrior. He took both of his belts with a 7th round knockout to end the International Fight Week on Saturday night at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. The co-main event was also a good one where Sonny Edwards boxed his way to an 8-round technical decision over former champion Adrian Curiel. The fight was stopped because of a bad cut on Edwards' forehead that occurred in the 6th round from an accidental clash of heads. After losing his belt and the undefeated record to Jesse Bam Rodriguez, he is now also back into the mix. WBC female super bantamweight champion Yamilet Mercado also defeated challenger Ramla Ali by a competitive 10-round unanimous decision. It was her 7th straight title defense and she has lost to no one but Amanda Serrano in her last 13 fights. And that's all. Thanks for watching till the end. Now just do not go without giving your feedback or sharing your thoughts in the comment section. Do this for me and then do whatever you want.